All right, Trevor and Jaden, what game are we playing today?
Homesteaders.
Homesteaders, and do you like Homesteaders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jaden, why do you like Homesteaders?
It's a fun game. We build up cities and do auctions.
Yeah, and Trevor, why do you like Homesteaders?
I like Homesteaders because you can earn money and keep earning money and build up to build buildings that get you more money.
Not to mention going into that fine thing we call debt.
Well, great. Well, let's talk a little bit about how to play. What's the objective?
The objective is to get the most victory points.
Or as I like to call them, honor and glory.
The most honor and glory. Well,
They
great.
kind of look like a sheriff badge too.
Okay.
They do.
Well, let's take a look at the pieces, Kay.
This is livestock, copper, too late, food, workers, gold, wood, iron.
Wow, a lot of resources.
Yeah.
So over here you have trade chips, your victory points, your money, debt, and railroad pieces used to build the railroad.
All right, what about all these cards up here in front?
Those are the buildings that you build with your resources to get money and build up more money.
On each turn you do an auction.
Okay.
And then whoever wins the auction, this auction is either any type of building or residential or commercial.
Well, how do you know what all the phases are?
The phases are right here on the inside of your little hidey thing.
Okay.
So nobody knows what you have.
It says right here that the first phase is setup. The next phase is income, where you get the income like you just talked about. And that's where you get to place your workers on your buildings.
Allocate.
And then you have to pay your workers.
Darn it.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
And then it's the auction phase where you buy more buildings.
All right, cool. And how many rounds are there?
There's 10 rounds.
10
Okay.
rounds.
And then I see a card sitting there between you two. What does that card show?
This tells you what you can buy and sell at the marketplace.
Okay.
And you want to get trade chits because you cannot buy and sell without a trade chit.
Okay.
Okay, so on the first round, you always start with an auction. So I would start by saying, I want to pay 3 for this.
And I'd say, but I want a residential, but I might want a commercial. But this one can give me any type of building, so I'll pay for this.
Once you can't bid any higher, or no player will bid higher than you, you take this building and you pay how much you bid for it.
Okay, well, it seems pretty simple that both of you could get a building on that.
Right.
One little detail.
This isn't a 2-player game.
No.
Oh, okay.
So one person always has to pass on this track and move up.
Okay, great. Okay.
So once you bid for your building, you can pick either the residential or the commercial, whatever it's said on it. And these are what they look like.
Okay.
There's a little symbol up in the corner that tells you what resource you need. Then this tells you your income at the bottom. And if you have a worker, that's also what you get.
So even though you get to pick one of the buildings from the settlement or the residential or industrial, you really still have to figure out which one you want to build.
Right.
You can't
because
do
there's
everything.
different ones in each one.
Wow.
And some
Tough.
of
Is it tough
them-
choices?
Yeah. So you
At
spend a lot
times
of
you
time
can't.
looking through.
Like right before the auction, you always say, okay, what do I want? What do I want?
How do you construct your building?
With
With the resources needed.
Okay.
This one, you need 1 wood.
So if you had a wood, you could just use
pay
it. But if you didn't, you could buy it at the marketplace
with
for
a trade chit
and
1
1
silver.
So since I didn't have a steel, I would have to pay for a steel. So I would have 3 gold or
3
3
silver.
whatever.
Gold's expensive.
I know. Okay, so 3 silver and 1 trade chit, and I would do that and pay my gold or silver, and then I would get my steel and pay for that building. So now that building is constructed, and I can get the income that comes from it.
And so mine, I just have to be the blue player, which I am, so I construct that building.
Okay. And so then when you go on to allocate workers, how do you allocate your workers?
You move your worker to whichever buildings you have and say, which one do I want my worker on most? He doesn't need a worker, but he still has to pay for it.
Even if your worker's idle, you still have to pay for it.
So I can, on my turn, when we collect our income, I'll just say it then.
Okay, great. Well, go ahead. Collect your income then.
Okay, so he gets 1 trade chit,
Whoop-de-doo.
and I get 2 silver, and I can either choose to get a wood or glory. I usually start with wood because that's how you build things.
Okay.
And since I don't have any money, I'll have to go into debt.
Ooh, debt. How do you pay
Debt
off your
gives
debt?
you $2, but you have to pay it off with $5, so it's a pretty high interest rate.
All right. So in the end, let's summarize, guys. What would you rate it?
4.
You give it a good solid 4. And
Yep.
Jaden?
I agree with Trevor on the 4.
You give it a good high score.
It's really fun, but it starts out slow.
It does start out slow, and sometimes I wish it wouldn't end because if
Because
you just keep going and going and going
You
and
get
going,
more and more, and then when you get to round 10, it feels like you're just barely getting started and you're just getting to understand it, and you really want it to go on.
but I would still give it a 4.
All right.
Same. It's
What
awesome.
about age of players?
12 plus.
12.
All right. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
See ya.